Hello and welcome to this Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Crystal. My name is Rick Kemper, and I welcome you to join me on a build adventure through the land of Johto. Now considering there are billions of videos just like this one already on YouTube, I don't think I really need to explain too much about what a Nuzlocke run is, but I'll go over some of the basics for you anyway. In a regular Pokemon game with vanilla rules, you run around and collect however many of whichever Pokemon you choose. You could have an entire army of Rattatas or pace back and forth in the tall grass for hours, trying to get one elusive rare Pokemon in the area. You battle, they die, you just use Revive or head to your nearest Pokemon Center to get them back into fighting shape. Failure is always an option. But not for a Nuzlocke run. Nuzlocke is like Pokemon Hard Mode. Death is permanent, and you can't just use whichever Pokemon you want. One of the biggest rules around Nuzlocke is that you can only catch the first Pokemon that appears in every new route or cave or dungeon or whatever. For example, let's say I battle and catch a Pidgey on the first route, and the next battle is something cool, or at least cooler, like a Sentret. Well, too bad. I already caught something on that route, and when I say you have to catch them, I mean you have to. There are no second chances. If it dies in that battle, you crit or something like that, too bad. It's gone forever, and thus so are your chances of catching any new Pokemon on that route. This is designed kind of to encourage players to use Pokemon they normally wouldn't use, as well as discourage from loading up on a bunch of different Pokemon or just farming for specific rare ones. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get nothing but Pidgeys. Another huge rule, probably the main rule, is that once a Pokemon falls in battle, that's it. It's dead. You gotta release it at the next Pokemon Center, and you can't revive it for any kind of use before that point. This makes battles that are much more strategic and discourage the player from using, weak Pokemon as meat shields for let's say a cheap and easy Pokemon swap without having to waste a turn and take a hit on the one you're trying to swap in. So it discourages that scummy kind of gameplay. There are other caveats to this game mode, but I'll explain those in more detail as we go on. And just keep in mind, I don't know the official rules. I know what I understand to be the rules, but even if I knew them, I probably wouldn't abide by those 100%. I plan on kind of changing the rules in very small ways for my own purposes, mainly to keep me interested, keep me from getting too frustrated, and make the experience enjoyable, as well as just really not punish myself too much. But I'll explain those as we go on. So with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and just hop right in. Here we go! Into the options menu. Because the first thing I want to change is the text speed, because I cannot stand the slow text. I barely read anything anyway, because I've played this game a billion times, but the slow text is just painful. All I do is mash the button. Put it in stereo, so it sounds a little bit better. That might be a little too quiet. Nah, we'll go back to mono. I don't know what menu account is. No idea. And I like frame 6. I always have. I like the little dots in the corner. Looks pretty good. Alright, now, let's get started. Oh geez, this is the question, isn't it? I think I'm going to play as a boy. Because I'm going to play as me, and last I checked, I was a boy. What? You woke me up. Will you check the clock for me? I might not do everybody's voice, I just want to right now. What time is it? It is 8. What? Night? 8 o'clock? How many minutes? What a weird thing to say. Somebody asks what time it is. You're like, oh, it's 8. Well, how many minutes? 36? Whoa, 36 minutes? Whoa! He's just really blown away. 8:36. No wonder it's so dark. Is he sleeping? Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Oak. My name is Oak. It's not Prof Oak, like it was in Gen 1. Oak, I'll be the Pokemon Prof. Just kidding. That was a whooper. Yep, your standard introduction. Saying that people in Pokemon love each other. Some battle, some play. Seems like a pretty drastic difference though. Some battle, make them fight to the death. Others play with them and have fun. We don't know everything. There's so many mysteries to solve. Why I give you an empty Pokedex? What did you say your name was? I'm gonna go with my name. I like the default names. Better than... obviously I understand that the main character in Gen 1 was Red, or your Pokemon Yellow, Ash, but I like that they gave you just some different options here. So it was like red, blue. Alright. Rick, are you ready? Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. Oh yes, we will. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go! I'll be seeing you later. And then I shrink. Now, it's been a while since I've really played. I was just recently watching some Let's Plays and things like that for Gen 1, but I wanted to come into Gen 2 with my fuzzy memory still intact. I remember in your room you can get decorations, like little things to go on the table, you can get new beds, big-ass Snorlax for the corner, just, stupid stuff that's just cosmetic, but it was a lot of fun, because there was actually a feature built into the game with the Game Boy that uses the little infrared sensor on the Game Boy Color. It's called Mystery Gift. And you and a friend could, once a day, do the Mystery Gift, and you would both just get a random item or decoration or whatever. That's primarily how you got your decorations for your house. Sometimes you would get regular items, power-ups, rare candies, Pokeballs of various kinds. You could get, I think you could get any item in the game, so you could potentially get like a second Master Ball, or, a second rare TM that you're only supposed to get one of, or something, but it was a really cool feature. Obviously, you could only do it with the Game Boy Color, because it was the only one with the infrared, so if you were playing on a Game Boy Advance, or the original Game Boy for Gold and Silver, it just wouldn't work. Obviously, you couldn't access that feature, but it was still a pretty cool feature, nonetheless. I remember decking out my room. Let's see. In Gen 1, there is a potion in your PC, and there is not in Gen 2. I think I know why. It's because they kind of changed it around a little bit. Talking about this even more, too, we've got the mailbox. That was another cool feature, too, that I think took advantage of the infrared. So you could write letters, and you'll see in shops, as I go on here, you can buy different mail. You could write letters to your friends, attach them to Pokemon, trade them off. I think you could send them directly, but I'm pretty sure you had to attach them to Pokemon and trade. Of course, decoration, that's for the decoration feature that I was just talking about. You can deposit items in here, although I don't think there's a reason to in this generation. In Generation 1, you had your one bag that you could fit. I'll go into my pack here. You had one bag that fit all of your items, including key items, HMs, TMs, potions, all that stuff. And there was a limit to the maximum number of types of items you could have. So, for example, you could have 99 potions, and they'd only take up one slot, I guess, in your item bag. The problem is, you had a limit. I think it was 20. And again, it took for everything: HMs, TMs, regular items. So you would effectively, item management was a huge part of the game because you would run out of space in your bag. So you'd constantly be throwing stuff away or going to your PC and dropping off old key items like the SSAN ticket that was used one time basically. Then after the boat sails away, it's done, but you're still stuck with the item. So now you got to get rid of it because it's just taking up a spot. It really sucked. The TMs took up a spot too, so you couldn't really hang on to them unless you went back to your PC and deposited them. pretty sure, since we have all the different pockets here that organize items, your balls, put balls in there, key items, TMs, HMs. Since we have all the different pockets, I'm pretty sure they have unlimited storage for each, or if they do have a limit, it's not nearly as detrimental because you can fit a ton of crap into each bag. We'll find that out as we go. I don't recall exactly. It's been probably 10 plus years since I've last played this. I did play Soul Silver though. Silver was the first version that I had. The differences might throw me off a little bit because they did change several different things. For how descriptive. It's a TV. Not even anything on it. There's no boys walking down railroad tracks. I don't get a game or a Super Nintendo or anything. Oh, what a great radio. Oh, god damn it. Get out of there. Anyway, let's quit screwing around. Oh, hey, look, the map. I guess I'll explain some more. So, the world in Gold, Silver, and Crystal is Johto. It's neighboring the original region called Kanto, which I don't think had a name until Generation 2, but that was from Generation 1. It's to the west. As you can see, to the, I can't go over there, but right to the right of my character here, there's a little path that extends that way. Gee, I wonder where that goes. Alright, let's move on. Is this just a TV too? Oh, this one's got a movie. Stars Stop the Skies. Two boys ride on a train. Okay. Oh, Rick, our neighbor, Prof. Elm, was looking for you. He said he wanted you to do something for him. Oh, I almost forgot. Your Pokemon gear is back from the repair shop. Here you go. Ah, the Pokegear. I forgot all about this. See how she explains it before I rattle on about it. Oh, the day of the week isn't set. Mustn't forget that. What day is it? Jesus, Mother, you're supposed to be taking care of me? I believe it's Tuesday. Yes. Yes, it's Tuesday. That's a good question. I have no idea. Yes? Sure. Come home to adjust your clock for daylight savings time. But if it's like a watch, why wouldn't I just be able to do it there? Whatever. Do I know how to use a phone? No. Never seen one in my life. And I like how even if you say yes, it's like, don't you just turn it on and select the phone icon? And then goes into an explanation of how to use it, even though you said yes. Gee, isn't that convenient? Gee, sure is. Who are you? Good evening, Rick. I'm visiting. Rick, have you heard? My daughter is adamant about becoming Prof. Elm's assistant. She really loves Pokemon. That's cool. Let's see what's in the fridge. Fresh water and tasty lemonade. Now, my opinion, I think it was lemonade. I might have bought up a ton of fresh waters too, but I would buy either one or the other. Fresh waters or lemonade the first chance I got on Generation 1 because it was so much cheaper than potions. You know, the fresh water costs 200 and it healed, excuse me, like 50 or 60 HP, and the potion was like 350 and it only healed 20. So you can see why it was a much better deal. Plus it had the dual purpose in Generation 1. So this is our town. I forget what it's called. New Bark Town. I guess in the alpha or something it was called Silent Hills, and they changed the name because of Silent Hill, the video game. They didn't want to get it too confused. Elm's house. Now, I think it was in the Heart Gold Soul Silver that your rival, or not really your rival, your counterpart, the opposite gender counterpart, would be here. I think when you walked out that door, greet you and have their little Pokemon. You have Meryl. And, you know, you meet up with them at various points in the game, battle them, stuff like that. I don't think that happens in this one. Like I said, I'm going to get a lot confused between Soul Silver, Heart Gold, and actual Gen 2. Let's check some stuff out here. I am kind of a completionist, and I like to look at everything and go everywhere, so this will be a very long playthrough. Pikachu's involved Pokemon. Oh yeah, that's right. He's amazed by his findings. He's so famous for his research on Pokemon evolution. Sigh. I wish I could be a researcher like him. Why don't you? Stopping you. It's 2016. A woman can be anything. My house sucks. Now, I don't remember where there's a lot of hidden items that you can find on the ground. There's an item you get later called Item Finder, a very original name. But what that'll do is it'll play a sound if there's a hidden item nearby. And the hidden items you don't see. I'm not talking about the big Pokeballs that are on the map. Like let's say there was one right in front of me where I'm standing. When I press the A button, you would find something and play a tune and whatever. But you can't see it. You gotta use the Item Finder or just know where it is. Elm's house. Hi Rick, my husband's always so busy. That's cool. He forgets to eat. Alright. When I grow up, I'm gonna help my dad. I'm gonna be a great Pokemon professor. No, you're not. Shut up. Also, I like to swear a lot. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I already swore a couple times. If that bothers you, then fuck off. I don't care. Just kidding. I do care. But if it bothers you, then you probably shouldn't watch. Ah, Rick, there you are. I need to ask you a favor. Oh, this is your typical professor with a wood name. There's oak and elm and ivy and birch. There's a couple other ones, but they're all trees or plants of some kind. So now he's gonna give me a Pokemon that he recently caught. I'm gonna tell him no. But please, I need your help. But thou must. Okay. Thanks. You're a great help. I was forced into this. I don't want to do that. But once my findings, I'm sure I'll delve a bit deeper. Okay. Oh, hey, I got an email. There's sound notifications on your emails. That's cool. Hey, listen. I like that. Very, informal. Mr. Pokemon. Is his last name actually Pokemon? Seems kind of weird. It'd be like, last name being Human or something. That was Mr. Human in the real world. It wouldn't really. That was a dumb joke. Okay. So he wants to send me, some kid, so he's going to give me a dangerous animal and send me off into the world to go meet a stranger, a strange man with a weird name. Well, this is a very important decision. I usually always pick Cyndaquil because I love the Typhlosion, the final evolution. It's just badass. A good second choice was always Totodile. I like him because his attack stats through the roof. You can learn some good moves. Water types are really good. No. And then the third type is Chikorita, which in my opinion is the shittiest. The grass starter is usually the worst. Especially in this generation, because the first gym is flying type. The second gym is bug type, both of which are strong against grass. What's the third? Normal? Third's normal, so not too bad. No. Yeah, your partner is important. They really are. I'm trying to think. Now, one rule that I'm going to talk about that I'm going to do, there's some controversy around, I guess, quote-unquote controversy, is around static Pokemon. And what those are ones that you get from events, or are standing on the map, or like legendaries that you just, can come across. There's a school of thought that one says, no, you can't get them because you can't encounter them normally in the grass, and there's another school of thought that says as long as they're the first Pokemon you encounter, it doesn't matter, and then there's another one that says they're a totally different classification, and it doesn't matter, you can get them and use them as much as you want. There's another one that says all the same stuff except you get it, but you can't use it, they're just a trophy. My school of thought is the static Pokemon, I can get them, but I can't use them. I don't want to be able to use them, I just want to use ones that I can catch. The reasoning is, I would usually always, when I would play through regularly, I would usually always use the static Pokemon, because for one reason or another, they just tended to be better than my non-static Pokemon. So, I'm going to make that determination now. I can get them, I'm not going to turn them down, but they're going to go in a special box that is just for trophies, just to show off that I got them. The only reason I want to do that is just just for giggles. Another rule that I'm going to bring up right now is around death. Now, there's generally two schools of thought with death in a Nuzlocke run. When a Pokemon dies, they say you need to take it to the Pokemon Center as soon as you can and release it. You can't use it, you can't revive it. If it gets healed in any way, it doesn't matter. Once it's dead, it's done. Death is permanent. I don't like the idea of releasing them because I like the nostalgia, I guess, of going back later and looking at them. So what I usually do is I box them, but I put them in like a dead box, a cemetery box. And so I can go look at them later, but I can't use them. It's just fun, especially at the end of the game, like you beat the Elite Four or something. You know, you get registered in the Hall of Fame, you see your winners, well then you can go take a look at your losers. So that's why I like that. I gotta decide. I think we're gonna go with Totodile. Yeah, we're gonna go with Totodile. Yes. I think that's a great Pokemon, too. You can say that about any of them. Now, another really cool feature of Nuzlocke, or whatever you want to call a feature, is the nicknames. You are basically required to give them all nicknames, and it's just to give that endearing factor. So if they do die, it hits you that much harder. You're like, no, George is dead. Well, you know, it's better than saying like, oh, Totodile, random generic Totodile is dead, oh no. So it just gives it a little bit more weight. Plus it's more fun giving them names. I never used to nickname my Pokemon. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, and now it's hard for me to play without nicknaming them since, you know, doing Nuzlocks. Because you get a little bit more attached to them, and it just becomes a more personal experience, which is the whole point behind Nuzlocke, apart from just making it a more challenging game. Because let's face it, Pokemon's pretty easy. What are we gonna call them though? Generally, I like to give them funny nicknames or stupid ones, or you know, whatever. I don't get all crazy about it. Or I don't like to give them regular stupid people names. I think it's like giving a pet, you know, a regular person's name. It's just kind of weird to me. I'm like, oh, this is Greg, my dog. Let's see. We're gonna call him. Nobody's gonna get this. Call him Hand Horse. It's a very obscure inside joke that my friends will appreciate, but nobody else. I'll giggle when I see it. He lives a little bit beyond Cherry Grove, the next city over. It's almost a direct route there, so you can't miss it. Just in case, here's my phone number. Okay. Ah, phones! Yeah, that's another feature that was added in Gen 2. I like the phone feature, because before the... what was it called? Fire Red? Versus Seeker, I think? Before that was introduced, you battle a trainer, and that's it. Once they're done, they're done. You can never fight them again. The only ones you could fight over and over were the Elite... Oh, fuck off. What do you want? Thanks. The Elite Four were the only ones that you could rebattle. With the phone, there are certain trainers that you give your phone number to, and they'll call you up and say, hey man, I want a rematch. But they don't just have the same crappy Pokemon that they had. They are stronger, or they have different ones, or they have more. So it's just a fun little mechanic. Not every trainer can do it. As a matter of fact, a very small percentage can. But it's a lot of fun getting a phone call and somebody saying like, dude, let's fight. There's one character in specific that's awfully notorious for that. He's one of the first trainers you'll meet. As a matter of fact, I think well, apart from your rival, he's the first trainer you meet. I'll point him out when we get there. But who's this guy? So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Oh, what a dick! Jesus! Well, fuck you too, man. Alright, off we go. Route 29. Let's see. Well, Route 29. Alright. Who are you? Pokemon hide in the grass. Who knows when they'll pop out. Okay. Now, something I want to get out of the way right now is, with a Nuzlocke, normally the rule is the first Pokemon you encounter on that route, or on a new route or whatever, the very first one is the one that you have to catch, and you gotta catch them right then and there. No second chances. If they die or run away or whatever, you run away, You can't come back later and find another one of those and catch it. You get one chance. But, seeing as how I don't have a Pokedex, I don't have Pokeballs, so I have no way of catching them, that rule gets delayed until you get your first set of Pokeballs from the Professor's aid after you get the Pokedex. So, just in case anybody's going to start screaming about it, I will try to keep the battles to a minimum, just on my way there up till that point, because I don't want to, get some real buff hand horse here. But I will get him up to probably level 7, because there's a specific battle that I really don't want to lose because I want the experience. And also, too, if somehow I miraculously die before getting the Pokedex and Pokeballs, I'm not going to start over. I'm not going to count that as an actual death, because Nuzlocke truly hasn't started yet. Just the little minor stuff, like naming your Pokemon. One thing I will say is I may eventually turn off the battle animations, because you see how long it takes from the time that transition animation started to the time that I can select a command. When you're fighting and trying to level up, grinding basically, that can get annoying really fast, because you spend more time waiting for the battle to happen than you do actually in the battle. Phone off real quick. Now that just went away. But that little blue bar that filled up right before the battle screen transitioned away is your experience bar, which is a hell of a nice feature that was added in Gen 2. Because in Gen 1 you had to constantly go into the stats screen if you wanted to see how close you were to leveling up. This one gives you a nice visual representation on the screen in battle, so you can kind of get an idea like, okay, he's about to level up. There are... Nope, that was Fire, Soul Silver and stuff. In Soul Silver, when your guy was about to level up, the Pokeball would shake on the little list of Pokeballs showing how many Pokemon you had left. Just give you an idea that, hey, this guy's about to level up, you might want to throw him in the battle. Anyway, this tree is another addition that was added in Gen 2. They're called berries, which was part of a much larger edition called Held Items. Now, in Gen 1, your items had to be used by the player on Pokemon. In Gen 2, there are certain items that your Pokemon can hold that they will use automatically under certain conditions, or that are just always active. For example, this one says a fruit-bearing tree. Hey, it's berry. You need a berry. What the berry is a little health healing item that when you give it to your Pokemon, let's go on here. Oh, and actually see on his sprite there, he's got a little pouch box thing. That means he's already holding something. But if you click on him, now you got an option that says item. You can give him, or you give him an item, or you can take it away. If I take it away, you see he already had a berry on him. So I go out again and give. There are certain items like this berry that says self-restore item 10 HP hold. And we're thinking, well, why wouldn't I give him a potion that does 20 HP? Oh, Pokemon can't use that. They can only use berries and other items. So it only heals 10 HP, but what's nice is he'll automatically use it when he gets under a certain condition. So the berry, when he gets, I think, below half health in a battle, will automatically use that to restore 10 HP, which is pretty cool because that can save you from a lot of sticky situations. There are other ones too that'll cure status ailments. There's some that will like boost certain statistics. Excuse me. Or there's even some special ones that'll prevent evolution, or just a whole bunch. And we'll get into those as we come across them. Let's talk to this old guy. You're a rookie trader, aren't you? I can tell. That's okay. Everyone's a rookie at some point. Back in my day. Sure, teach me a few things. I'm not sure what he gives you for doing this, but I remember talking to him back in the day. I think in the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, he gives you running shoes, which I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think you get in this game. I think you walk at the same crappy slow pace throughout the entire game until you can get a bicycle. Which is cool, but the bicycle can't be used everywhere. This is the sea. As you can see, some Pokemon are found only in the water. Okay. Good to know. Here, it's my house. Why don't you come inside? I'll give you some cold medicine. Cool. Oh, hey, cool, I got a map. Yeah, here, Pokegear. Let's go check that out. So these little things up here called cards. You get a few more as the game goes on. I think you get one more, actually. I just got the map one, which shows the map that I looked at in my bedroom, with all the different routes and cities and everything like that. This one's the phone. You can call people if you want to. I got Mom and Professor Elm in there. And then this is just your main screen here that you can see the time and date. Right now it's 9:01. Let's get out of here. Speaking of time and date, Generation 2 is the first, and I think probably the last generation. I don't know much about 4 or 5 or 6 really, but the first generation to introduce time. Before, you just walked around, it was always sunny, and you could catch whatever Pokemon was just available on that route. In this one, you can see it's nighttime right now, since it's 9 o'clock, and that means that only certain Pokemon will come out at night. So, for example, in these beginning routes, there's a, depending on which version you're playing, there's a Ladybug. It's like a Ladybug Pokemon that only comes out in the morning, because it's a little morning bug. At night, there's a bird called Hoot Hoot that only comes out at night. It's an owl. So you have to really play at certain times of the day to make certain Pokemon appear, which can make it really interesting for a Nuzlocke run, because it means you either have to sit and wait, or monitor Game Boy's time, or you have to just deal with the cards that you're being dealt with. If I come to a route at night, if there's a Pokemon that I want during the day, I have to make that decision. Do I wait to run into an encounter, or do I just keep on going? So let's just keep on going. Long-ass transition. There's Hoot Hoot. One of my favorites. I really hope I get a chance to catch one, and I should, because they're common like Pidgeys at night. But what I like about them is they gain the ability for Psychic. Or Confusion, something like that. I think they can learn Psychic, but they, like from a TM, but they naturally learn Confusion. Which is a very nice move to have, because Psychic is still pretty broken in this game. The introduction of Dark-type and some better Bug-type moves, they were definitely weakened a little bit, and I think they corrected the Ghost-type thing, the bug. In original Gen 1, Ghost-type was ineffective against Psychic, so if I use a Ghost-type move, which I think the only one that did damage was Lick, which is a bullshit move anyway, it would say not effective, like trying to use a Electric-type against Ground. It was bugged, because it's supposed to be the opposite. Psychic was supposed to be ineffective against Ghost, and Ghost was supposed to be super effective against Psychic. Psychic just ended up being broken as hell in Gen 1. Getting some more berries now. You will go through berries pretty quick if you equip them, but they can be a lifesaver, especially in a Nuzlocke run. Even, 10 HP, that can be the difference between, being given a chance to heal, or your dude's dead and now you gotta replace him with someone else. Okay. Let's go over here first, I'll show you. So I can't go up this way, because I got... Go, Rattata! Sorry if I mispronounce that, that's how I've always pronounced it. Some people say Rattata, Rat-ta-ta, something like that. I say Rattata. I might say it several different ways. I don't care. So I'll go up here, and right here is a bush. Cure-bearing tree. It's a poison cure-berry. So like I was saying earlier about the berries, not all of them heal health. Some heal status. This one, in this case, if I were to put that on Handhorse and he were to get poisoned, he would automatically heal himself, which is really nice if you are going in an area that you know that the status affects what they're going to be. I feel like there was something hidden over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, potion. Slowly coming back to me. But that's an example of one of those hidden items. If I had the item finder and I used it while standing over here, it would have told me beeped somehow. Similar to the dowsing machine or dowsing rod in Heart Gold Soul Silver, but that one gave you an actual visual representation. Favorite color wasn't that advanced. Where are we? Let's see. Mr. Pokemon's house. This sounds like the right place. Oh, hello, hello, you must be Rick. A young boy wandering into my house. Professor Elm said that you would visit. Cool. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. I received a mystery egg. I know a couple who run a daycare service. They gave me that egg. I was intrigued, so I sent mail to Professor Elm. For Pokemon Evolution, Professor Elm is the authority. Even Professor Oak here recognizes that. It is my assumption, if my assumption is correct, Professor Elm will know it. Aha, so you're Rick. I'm Oak, Pokemon researcher. Let's see, where are we at? 35 minutes? I'm trying to decide how long I want these to be. I might do hour-long videos, because I don't want to make them too long, but I also don't want them to be too short, because I can play in pretty long stretches. I was just visiting my old friend Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this? A rare Pokemon? Dude, it's not that rare. I'm sure there's at least 3 or 4 other trainers that have this guy. I understand why he gave you a Pokemon. Pokemon are our friends! He saw that you would treat it with love and care. I kinda have to, because if he dies, he's gone. You seem dependable. And what gave you the authority to make that assumption? That I'm dependable? We've just met. Would you like to help me out? It's the latest version of the Pokedex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. You'll meet many kinds of Pokemon and complete that Pokedex. I have to go to Goldenrod for my usual radio show. Counting on you. Okay, bye. Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. I think I want to get them up one more level. So level 7's a good level to do what I'm about to do later. What's this? Anything on your computer? A whole pile of strange coins. Maybe they're from another country. Okay. Oh, get a phone call. So this is what happens when you get a phone call. It all stops. The phone rings. Message comes up at the top, tells you who it is, and then down below. Oh, this is disaster! It's just terrible! What should I do? Oh no! Please get back here now! Alright. I will hurry. Alright. Ooh, Poliwag. I already have a water type, so I won't be heartbroken if I can't catch a Poliwag on this route when I get the chance. But I did a Nuzlocke run of Crystal years ago, and I caught a Poliwag in the beginning that ended up being a Poliwrath by the end, and he was a monster. I actually never really used fighting types in the past, because I never really liked the fighting type. I was always big on, like, electric type, fire type, water type, the main, one, psychic, because I was just a stupid kid. But now I kind of understand the benefits of some of the other, what I consider to be underused types, especially in Gen 2 and onward, because the number of Pokemon that they added to those types and things like that. But yeah, there was an instance where I got my hands on a very special, a very special fighting type Pokemon that I brought to the Elite Four with me, and he basically just mopped the floor. It was incredible how strong he was. And then I had Poliwrath, of course, too, and he saved my life. I mean, we were close to dying, and we made it through. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to having some moments like that in this run. Beat the hell out of this owl. Oh yeah, I said I wasn't gonna level him up past 7. Come on. Over-leveling can be a problem in Nuzlocke runs when you get to a new area and you want to catch something, but you're too strong and you kill it right away. It's not a huge problem, but it can be. Generally, though, you do want to stay pretty high level, because you can easily get one hit killed by a crit, or just some unforeseen thing, self-destruct or something. You're up against a Voltorb, you're about to kill it, took down half your health, and then it self-destructs. Oh shit, I didn't heal. I should be fine. Got a berry, I got potions. Ah, it's that dick who kicked me earlier. All question marks. Sent out Chikorita. There's something I liked about Crystal. There's the little animation that plays when they come out. Sucks they didn't do the back sprites, but I mean, it's just a nice touch. It's really impressive for Game Boy Color days, because, I mean, really, you didn't see that on a Game Boy Color game like this with this much data crammed into that cartridge. I mean, they used all of the cartridge that they could. Hand Horse learned a new move, also, Rage. I'm going to try and talk about some of the moves a little bit, too. Scratch is just your basic physical attack. Leer lowers their defense by a point or something like that. It's pretty good, but I like the moves that, no, just kidding. I do like Leer, because it lowered the enemy's stuff. So I can use Leer a few times, get my ass kicked, switch out to someone else, and Leer is still in effect on that enemy, so then I can use them to pummel them even harder. If it was something that boosted my attack as opposed to lowering their defense, as soon as I switched them, all those benefits are gone. Rage is a pretty cool move. I'll probably keep that for a while, because even though its base damage is weaker than Scratch, I'll show you here. So it's not going to do a whole lot of damage here. See, not very much. Piece of shit. Don't use that. Use the other move. So he just lowered my attack. That's cool. So it's going to be even weaker. There we go. So watch. So this is Rage is building. Now, see how much damage I did before. Let's do it again. See that? Significant increase. Now watch again. It's going to hit me one more time. Rage is still building. Every time that they hit you when you use Rage, after you use the move, it increases the attack power of that move. I'm not sure exactly how it grows, but it seems to be exponentially. So it's insane. Oh, and there's Barry. See how he got below 50% health. He automatically used that berry to heal back up. So I'm going to use Rage one more time and kill him. Rage is definitely one of my favorite moves. I like unique moves like that, as opposed to just straight damage. I like ones that have different effects and, you know, can vary in power and stuff like that. Statistics, it brings up an interesting point too, with special attack and special defense. In Gen 1, it was just special, which means when Gen 2 came around, it really screwed a lot of Pokemon. Pokemon like Ninetales, for example, had a really high special stat in Gen 1. Special included both attack and defense, meaning they could do a lot of damage with special attacks and resist a lot of damage from special attacks. Now that they're split, Ninetales kind of got shafted on special attack. It's got a really high special defense, but shit for special attack. Meaning, it's no longer as viable. It can't do as much damage. So it kind of got knocked down a few tiers. I can't really think of a situation where Pokemon really benefited from that. It was just all around better to have them join. But it helped balance the game out a lot more, because now Pokemon like Alakazam can have a really high special attack but a lower special defense, meaning you can, you know, they're kind of glass cannons, and you can stand a chance against them. They're not just straight up impenetrable powerhouses. Alright, let's head back to town here. Let's see. Alright. I'll try not to hum and whistle. Oh, cool, I didn't realize it did that. It shows the name of the town when you walk in. Alright, let's go talk to this guy and see what the hell he's going on about. Oh, there's only one Pokeball on the table. But a Pokemon was stolen. Oh, I wonder. Just getting some information from Professor Elm. There's a young male with long red hair. That must be our rival. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I happen to get his name. Now the traditional thing to do here, Nuzlocke or otherwise, is to give him a fun, festive name. We'll call him Dix. No, call him Dick. Let's see, call him Dick Butt. Ah, so Dick Butt was his name. Damn Dick Butt. Alright. Rick, this is terrible. Oh yes, what was Mr. Pokemon's big discovery? Instantly doesn't give a shit about the Pokemon that was stolen now. The end of the mystery, get Professor Elm. Slams, jumps back. This? But, is it a Pokemon egg? If it is, it's a great discovery. And nobody's ever seen a Pokemon egg before. Professor Oak gave you a Pokedex! He's just losing his mind! That's incredible! He's superb at seeing the potential of people, somebody Yoda. Wow, Rick, you man, what it takes to become the champion! You seem to be getting on great with that Pokemon, too. You should take the gym challenge. Dude, just telling me how to live my life. Violet City. So when I was a kid, I could read pretty well, but I was a kid, so I was pretty stupid. I didn't realize that Violet was like a color, like all these, you know, cities are colors. So I thought it said Violent City. I was like, man, Violent City right off the bat. It's gonna be a hell of a game. You should talk to your mom. You can forget to do that, and she gets pissed off and calls you. Alright, so this right here marks a big moment. Frick! So use a capital name, it sounds like he's yelling it. Use these on your Pokedex quest. Got a Pokeball, it says I got 1, but I really got 5. So, now that I got the Pokeball, I got the Pokedex, Nuzlocke run officially begins. Now let's go talk to Mom so she doesn't get pissed off. But yeah, if you don't talk to her and you just keep on going, you'll hit a certain point where she'll call you and be like, bitch, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me you were leaving? It's like 10. Wow, that's a cute Pokemon. Where did you get it? So, you're leaving on an adventure. I love how I didn't say anything. I imagine with a silent protagonist that I know what they're supposed to be doing is like they're telling them and they're just cutting out the dialogue for the sake of brevity. But it's like it's just ... I just imagine you just stood there silently, staring into her eyes while she was just like awkwardly like, okay, so anyway, you're leaving on an adventure? Okay, I'll help too. Well, what can I do for you? Nothing. Nothing, you can't do anything. I know, I'll save money for you. Oh? On a long journey, money's important. Do you want me to save your money? You want me to steal your money? It's essentially what she's doing. What she wants to do is every time you win a battle, you get some prize money. What she'll do is she'll skim a little bit off, like 10% or something, and she'll put it into savings for you. The savings, essentially, she'll occasionally call you and she'll say like, hey, so I was out shopping and with your money, and I saw a bunch of stupid shit you might like, I just decided to buy it, so she'll spend that money. Most of the time it's actually pretty good stuff. There's stuff I think you can only get from her, like moonstones and stuff like that, so it's a good idea to do it. And you end up with a ton of money by the end of the game anyway, so it's not a big deal. She'll also buy decorations for you, and just other items, generic items like ethers and stuff like that. So do you want me to save your money? Yes. Okay, I'll take care of your money. Be careful. Pokemon are your friends. You need to work as a team. Now, go on. Alright. Alright. As soon as we step into this grass here, begins a new chapter. Oh, fuck off, dude. No. I've seen you a couple times. How many Pokemon you caught? Want me to show you? No. Oh, fine then. He's so offended. Oh, fine then. Fuck you too, man. Anyway, if you want to catch Pokemon, you have to walk a lot. I feel like he wouldn't have said that if I did it. He would have been a little bit more cheerful. Alright, let's see what our first Pokemon's gonna be. Oh, a second. Please be something good, don't be something shitty. Oh my god. What am I doing? Ah, yeah, Hoot Hoot. I was really hoping it was Hoot Hoot. Alright, Hand Horse. Let's not fuck this guy up too bad. Oh shit, that was scary. His defense must suck, so I wonder what his other stats are. Let's see, Pokeball. I do tend to min-max my Pokemon and my selection of Pokemon and stuff like that through regular playthroughs. I want to try really hard not to do that during the Nuzlocke. Gotcha! Ah, he's an owl. Weighs 47 pounds. Jesus Christ. Begins to hoot at the same time every day. Some trainers use them in place of clocks. Give a nickname to Hoot Hoot? Of course. Let's see. In my original Nuzlocke playthrough, I'm pretty sure I called them Feathers. I don't want to... Yeah, we'll call them Feathers. Yeah. Actually, let's see what I got here. E, R... S... We'll call them Feathers Jr. Nah, we'll just call them Feathers. Okay, dumb. Alright, Feathers. Let's take a look at you, Feathers. Stats. Okay. Their defense is garbage. Special defense is pretty good. Special attack's alright. Speed's pretty good. Now in this game, unlike newer generations, they don't have natures. I mean, they still have their, you know, independent values or whatever, IVs or EVs or whatever. I never really got into that. But that's all hidden data that you don't normally see. That's why when you catch two Pokemon, two identical Pokemon, they can have two totally different sets of stats, or even your starters or whatever. It's because it's all just randomly determined by hidden stats that you can't see or really affect in many ways. So you might have one Hoot that's really good physical attack, you might have one that's really good special attack, you might have another one that's really fast, all in comparison to each other. So it's pretty cool. It makes it so each one's fairly unique instead of just having, you know, generic Hoot at level 20 will have these exact stats. Alright, well, there's another one. So like I mentioned earlier with leveling, leveling is very important in a Nuzlocke run, because if you're too low of level, you can run into sticky situations where, you know, one critical hit can take you down. You know, one poorly timed, you know, you attack, you miss, they hit you back when you thought you were going to kill them, and now you're dead. So you gotta be very careful. The higher level you are, the, you know, tougher you are, the more buff your character is, and the more damage they can take, and everything like that. Their stats are higher. So leveling is important. I'm gonna try not to grind, because that shit's boring. And with the Nuzlocke run, I don't like it when people grind off screen, because who's to say, you know, if I grind off screen, oh, my guy died, but they didn't see it, so he really didn't die. Or, you know, some people get attached to the characters as it goes on, so if they die off screen and you come back and like, oh, by the way, he died, then that's kind of a shitty way to tell somebody. So I like to keep everything on screen. I'll try not to grind too much, but I will spend some time doing that. I'll let you know when I do that if you want to press forward. Can I talk to you? I think you gave me something, don't you? Here's a piece of shit. I gotta go to the shop. I don't have... Oh, excuse me. I don't have jack for items. An antidote. I'm gonna give a berry. Give one the feathers. I'll give another one the hand horse. So I'm gonna need some potions. I'm gonna buy a few more Pokeballs, antidotes, and stuff. So I'm pretty sure there's Pokemon that know poison coming up. Let's see, I'll buy... Oh shit, I'll buy 3. I usually like to buy in clusters of 5, but I don't know how many I have right now. These I'll buy 5 of. That's fine. I'll buy. See ya. Alright, so we got feathers, and we're gonna need to level feathers up a little bit. But first... Oh, actually, before I do that, there's another rule that I'm going to take advantage, not take advantage, but that I'm going to follow regarding the number of Pokemon that you can have. Before the first gym, I want to follow the rule that you can only have 2 Pokemon in your active party. Once you get that badge, you can then have 4. And once you beat the second gym, you can then upgrade to 6. It just adds another layer of difficulty and intrigue to the game. So instead of just having 6 guys that you grinded forever so you can never die, you've got 2. So it makes the beginning of the game that much more tense. After the second gym, you can then have 6 and do whatever you want, but I just like that idea. So whatever Pokemon I catch over here, unless it's something absolutely amazing, I'm probably just going to keep Hoot Hoot, because I really like Hoot Hoot. But anyway, if I do catch one over here, next chance I get at the Pokemon Center, I'll just box him, just won't use him until that point. Oh, damn! Ooh, that's lucky. Son of a bitch. Well, we're definitely gonna try and catch him. Don't kill it. Alright, we're gonna rage this bitch. You gotta be very strategic, too, because if I kill him, that's it. I can't catch anything else on this route. I missed out on a fucking Poliwag, so I'm gonna try to capture him. Now, I may keep him in the party, even though I already have a water type, because it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to keep my starter and use my starter, because I don't really care for a lot of the starters in games. I just think it's kind of cheesy to use them the whole game. When it kind of limits you, you know, like, oh, I got a water type, I don't want to have more than one, so I'm just going to use the one that I started with. I don't like that. Alright, cool, we got Poliwag. The nickname? Of course. I don't remember what the other one was called, so we gotta give this guy a new name. Girl, a new name. Genders were introduced in Gen 2 also, because of the whole Pokemon breeding aspect, which is why we got that mystery egg. So, what are we gonna call you? We will call you, you got a swirly on your belly, tadpole. We're gonna call you Frogger. Some people like to use lowercase letters in the names. I don't care. Alright, so we got Frogger. Unfortunately, Frogger's not going to be on the team for right now. So I'm going to keep Hoot-Hoot, because Hoot-Hoot is, in my opinion, a better Pokemon at this point. Zubat would have been a good catch, too. I already have a flyer, so I don't really need another one. But I do like Zubat's final evolution in Gen 2 Crobat. It's fast as hell, and gets a pretty good moveset. I really do like Poison. That's something else that I realized during the Nuzlocke runs, because I never really used Poison-type Pokemon, because they had a weakness to Psychic, and, you know, Psychic was always the best. But I come to realize that they're actually pretty good. There are some good physical attack, you know, Psychic Pokemon, or, excuse me, Poison Pokemon. Let's get Feathers out front. We need to beef him up a little bit, so we're going to grind for just a second here. And we're at about 57 minutes right now, so we'll grind for a little bit, get him up to 5, and I'll fight this trainer up here, and that'll be the end. Hoot-Hoot. Now, if you're not familiar in Pokemon games, like if I try to fight him right now, he's faster than me. So of course he's going to lower my fucking attack. But watch as... oh, we're the same speed. So see how we, like he went first the first time and I went first the second time? That means we have the same speed stat, so we're just gonna... it'll kind of randomly choose who's gonna go first. Okay, so see how he's kicking my ass right now? Of course I'm gonna use the damn berry. But, since he's whooping his ass, I can't risk keeping him out there if I didn't use the berry. So I'd have to switch. Well, the good thing about switching is when you switch to another Pokemon, both of them get experience. It's just split. There are some Pokemon that you have to train that way, like Magikarp, because it only knows Splash until level 15. So obviously it can't attack. You can't teach it any TMs either. So you gotta send him out, switch to something else, and then kill it, so that way you can get the experience. Feathers gain 24. Ooh, damn. 24 goes a long way. I need to go heal though. And I will be abusing the hell out of Pokemon Centers, because potions are very expensive. We get to a certain point in the game where I can buy fresh water and stuff. I'm totally doing that. Yes. I want to get him up to 5 before I fight this trainer. Shouldn't take long. We saw how quickly his experience bar filled up. Just 24 experience. Well, Hoot-Hoot appeared. Oh, Feathers! Alright, Feathers. Whoop his ass. It's level 4. Levels, even small differences in the beginning of the game. The beginning of any Pokemon game is always the hardest part. Because it's such small numbers that even a slight increase in attack power, like between level 3 and level 4, he might have 2 more attack power than I do, so he may end up doing 2 more damage than I can, which, with 16 HP, 2 damage makes a huge deal. You know, that's an 1/8 of my health right there. Oh shit. So see how he's getting his ass kicked? I could waste a potion, or I could switch in Hand Horse. Looks like Hand Horse might level up after this too. And yeah, some point I definitely am going to turn off the battle animations. So there we go, Feather's leveled up. It looks like he's going to be a quick yet defensible Pokemon, which is good. It's good to have a good special defender. His special attack and attack aren't spectacular, but they're pretty even, so that's good. That means I can give him some good flying type moves, as well as his confusion when he learns it, and he'll still be pretty viable for either. Defense kind of sucks, so hopefully he won't go up against any real physical guys, but he is pretty quick, which is good. Handhorse's stats, of course, are going to be exponentially better here, just because he's much higher level, and he's a starter Pokemon who are just arbitrarily better. But it looks like he's going to be a good defense. That's great, and his attack ain't too shabby either. His special attack and defense are kind of garbage, which isn't, you know, too bad. He's not designed to be a special attacker. That's Chikorita. Or, well, I think to some extent, Cyndaquil might be more special attack, and then Chikorita might be more special defense. This guy's more defense and physical attack. His speed's okay, but he's not the best water Pokemon, but he's pretty good. Let's go heal again. So we got our shit slapped a little bit by that Yes. I wonder if they changed it in this game. Thank you for waiting. Your Pokemon are fully healed. Yeah, we hope to see you again. What kind of hospital would say that? That's just awful. Like, oh, we hope you go out and become near death again. Just go out and almost die, please. It's not like they get any money from me. Why are they hoping that they're going to see me again? It's cost them money to heal me up. Alright, Poliwag, we already got one of your kind, so... Fuck you. Poliwag learns Hypnosis pretty early on, too, and that's a good move. Sleep is pretty good. I think they fixed it. It's not as broken as it was in Gen 1, meaning you could wake up immediately after being put to sleep. So, if you get put to sleep, or you put an enemy to sleep, especially, it can last a few turns. Okay, I'm gonna have to lower his defense. Oh shit, it's his attack. Alright, Handhorse, get out there and finish the job. Yeah, these animations just take so long. But I don't really want to turn them off because they're fun to look at. They're very well done, especially Bubble. Like, look at this. Look at the bubbles. They're all changing size, moving across screen. It would be cool if they popped at the end, but it's a very impressive game. This is, I think, one of the later games to come out on Game Boy Color. Because this was an actual Game Boy Color game. How hard is he? You can always switch. Alright, come on, Feathers. Whoop his ass. Beat his ass. Status, like attack and defense lowering attacks, are some of my least favorite. I probably won't keep any of them on any of my guys in favor of damage or actual status changing ones like poison and stuff like that. And I hate it when the enemies use them on me, especially lowering my attack. It just makes the battle that much longer. Scratch his ass. I always hated it when I'd attack, like he's got no health, and then I'd score a critical hit, like right when they're about to die, not on the move that would have killed them. God damn it. I think in Generation 2, they really scaled back the experience that was given. They redid that whole system because it's a much longer game than First Generation. But that also means that it takes forever to grind, which is why I'm going to try not to do it, but you kind of have to at some point. You just primarily don't run from too many battles, and try not to focus too much on too many different guys. I probably won't have a ton of guys in my party. If I do get 6, I probably won't use all 6, you know, right away until I decide that they're in my party. You should be able to kill him. He's a whole level below you. god. See, this is the most frustrating part of it. Later on in the game, it becomes much easier because you got specialized guys with powerful moves, and they go out and they got, you know, their same type of attack bonus along with weaknesses, and you can usually one or two hit almost everything. So you just kind of plow through everything and just move on. They just throw a ton of battles at you to make up for that. In the beginning, since it's such small numbers, every battle is a battle of attrition. Come on, dude. You're just like pecking away at each other slowly until one of them dies. Alright, cool. Yeah, we're a little over an hour right now, but that's okay. It's the first episode. I want to fight that trainer. But first, we're gonna heal. Yeah, I gotta give him a berry. And I need to deposit Polywag. Let's do that right now. So another big bonus in Generation 2 was on Bill's PC. You had multiple boxes to choose from. I mean, I think you had boxes in Gen 1, but you only got them after a box was full, and it would go to the next box, if I recall correctly. But that made the whole, you know, what I'm doing, oops, deposit, where I'm going to keep my dead ones in a box to look at later in my graveyard. It made doing that a lot harder because there was really no organization, so you couldn't determine which ones were dead or not. It just became too confusing, so it was best to just release them on that one. It's always hard to release them. I'm gonna fully heal. I'll see you again. Fuck you too. Alright, let's go fight this trainer, and then that'll be it. I'll wait for the next episode. So it's already pretty late. It's 9:37. He's a pretty cool Pokemon too. The one that I never really used, because of for whatever reason I hated poison. Oh, shit, I don't want to fight him. Whatever, we'll use a potion if I have to. Hopefully he can just kill him without taking any damage. I just want to be at full strength before I go to that trainer, that's why I walked back to the Pokemon Center. Oh good, we should be able to kill him as long as this doesn't slow me down, and he gets off. Alright. But yeah, I had a hatred for poison types. I just thought they were so shitty. Like, I mean, there wasn't a great selection in Generation 1. You know, you had like Ekans was cool, Coughing was alright, Mucking Grimer, you know. I think the best was like Nidoking, you know. But alright, here we go. So this is our first trainer battle, apart from the rival battle, which doesn't count. I just lost, so I'm trying to find more Pokemon. Wait, you look weak. Come on, let's battle. Always liked that little design. I didn't realize what it was. That was like an arena or something. It's a Pokeball. Stupid kid, Rick. Youngster Joey, one of the most notorious Pokemon trainers in the world of Pokemon. Sends out Rattata. I like how it shakes his ass as he comes out. A smug little bitch. Alright, let's knock down that attack a little bit. I got a berry, so I can take a few hits, get healed back up. Now, the thing about the berries is they grow on the trees, but they only come back, I think they come back once a day, like at the beginning of the day, or maybe it's 2 days, but you can't just keep going to the tree and picking berries. So you gotta be kind of strategic with the use, but I don't really give a shit right now because I'm gonna be done for the night after this, so I should be able to get new ones tomorrow. Experience points. So Joey was defeated. Lost again, doggone it. So right there it said sent some to mom. She skims a little bit of the money off the top of her earnings. Do I have to have more Pokemon in order to battle better? No, I'm sticking with this one, no matter what. So he's just gonna stick with that one Rattata. Listen, can I get your phone number? I'll ring you for some battles. So he's an example of one of those trainers that will call you when they want a rematch. And next time I go fight him, right now he's got a level 4 Rattata. I might fight him again, and it might be level 16, or it might have evolved into Eradicate. So yes, give me your phone number. A ring you whenever I get the urge to battle. Alright, well, that's going to do it. We went over a lot of information. We didn't get very far, but a lot of it was just explanations and all that. I will try very hard to record every day, but I might not have a video every day. But for my 2 or 3 people that'll probably actually watch this, because I have 0 followers right now, thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time.